Hey, welcome back to Super Marvel Brothers. I'm Brendon,
And I'm Connor.
and we're here to get you prepared for the greatest cinematic event in the history of the world, Marvel Infinity Wars. And we're going to do that by watching every movie in the MCU in chronological order.
I'm not even going to call you out on that greatest cinematic event stuff anymore, because I think that's just sticking so much at this point.
I mean, I've just ingrained it into the culture that is this podcast.
It's true. It's true.
This week, we got one more movie for the Avengers. We're missing two Avengers.
What movie? What week are we on, Brennan? Are we on?
Is it 5?
Four or 5.
This is week 5.
You're on 5. Week 5.
Did you think we'd make it this far?
I don't know. Between waning interest and or our own laziness,
Mostly that one.
a lot of that one.
We've made it. We watched the movie. We watched Thor.
Mm-hmm.
2011, directed by, I can't pronounce his name,
I'm
Kenneth Branagh?
I was still in high school.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
No, you weren't. Were you?
Yeah. 2013, baby.
Oh, yeah, we got you. Oh, yeah,
That's
that's a thing.
2013, baby.
Yeah, you're a young tyke.
Yep,
You still got, like, hope for the future and stuff.
Well.
Alright, so let's talk about this movie. Thor, you see this in theaters?
Yes.
I know I saw this one in theaters. You a Thor fan?
I wasn't a big fan of this movie when I first saw it. I like the concept of Thor. What's not to like about a big dude throwing lightning and swinging hammers?
Yeah. I also saw this in theater. I've kind of liked Thor when he's not in his own movies.
Yeah, he's a great side character.
He's been really good in, like, Avenger movies. Well, then there's Thor 3, which is weird because I have seen that and you have not.
Yeah, I gotta get on that.
It's so good and it changes a lot here.
Apparently. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Let's jump into this movie. So we start with Thor getting hit with a car, and then we go to a flashback scene. They should just cut that first scene out. That's just dumb. Like,
yeah. If it went a little bit farther and then maybe went into the flashback, I don't know. Like, I usually like the kinds of things that are like, here's the future, here's the past, here's the current. But like, this just went, here's the current, here's the past, here's what you just saw.
yeah, and then they show that exact same scene, like,
Yeah,
shot for shot.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we go back in time and kind of learn about the history of the Asgardians. Something I do want to find out, I believe the town they show is the same one we see in Captain America: The First Avenger, Tonsberg, I believe it is.
Something like that, yeah.
And it's a Viking thing, and we get to see the ice giant army going against the Asgardians.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a cool scene to see. And if that is the connection, which I'm sure I will remember to put on screen if we find that out or not.
Or we won't, and we're just going to
yeah.
hope our fans will.
Yeah,
You should really do the heavy lifting for us.
really.
It's not like I could just Google it right now.
Yeah, or anything. Yeah, we see that. We kind of see Odin in all of his warrior might.
Can we also say the thing,
What is it? The casket.
the casket? Really cool shot there where they like freeze the lake and
Oh,
like,
yeah.
the Viking
It's
boat.
awesome. They freeze people like mid-stride.
It was pretty cool. We get this crazy battle scene. We're led to believe it takes place over years and years.
This is like the most up and down movie with CG I think we've had.
Yeah, there are some really good shots and then some terrible shots.
And I mean, considering it's 2011, like...
And a lot of it, I'd say more of it than it not, does hold up.
Oh, yeah. I think, like, yeah. We'll talk
Like,
about
it's a
Asgard when
solid
we
like
get there.
B movie CGI wise.
Yeah, absolutely.
We get to this final scene. Odin has lost his eye, which you were throwing a hissy fit about.
Yeah, because I'm just saying in mythology he lost it because he wanted knowledge and that was the price. But, I mean, yeah, sure, let's lose it in a battle. I guess that's cool.
Some would say a baby is knowledge.
No, none would say that. No one would say that.
He finds this little frost giant kid, and yeah, and then we kind of get back to we go to the treasure room, and it's him telling a young Loki and a young Thor about that, and then again we have to cut away from that. Nothing really important there, and we get to what's supposed to be this big coronation scene where Thor.
Oh yeah,
is
Thor's going to be crowned king.
The
All-Father.
Yeah, the All-Father. So he's gonna Odin's gonna step down, and we're gonna get this Thor. And obviously, the characterization of Thor changes a lot in this movie.
Yeah, it's really rapid. And we don't really get a good grasp of how long this movie happens over.
Yeah, we don't really. It doesn't really give you a good idea. I think we kind of went on the assumption like a week-ish.
A week, maybe two stretching it, but it isn't. It isn't like months. It's no Captain America.
No, it's not like Captain America where we know.
Or even Iron Man went over the course of months.
Yeah, this is like a solid maybe 2 weeks if we're pushing it.
Yeah.
We do get the scene of Thor in his outfit. We were talking about it during the movie. What's your opinion on the outfit of Thor? Because it's one of the Avenger outfits that doesn't change.
I think it was the one they nailed. Because Thor had probably one of the goofiest outfits when you look in the comics and cartoons. Because he was just like a dude in a black, like, sleeveless shirt with big, like, dinner plates on his chest. and like a winged helmet. And the way they kind of were like, well, how can we make this look more like actual armor and not some weirdo on the street who found some silver plates, was like really cool because they worked like these circles into, he still has 6 circles, like one's up near his shoulders and like one's more on his chest and one's like down lower on his like stomach or whatever. So it was like kind of cool, and it's kind of like an.
What do you mean abs?
Yeah, that man has no stomach.
Yeah, that's just straight up abs.
We'll get to that when we get to the shirtless scene. And it's kind of worked into all the Asgardian armor, these like circle motifs. And it all kind of flows, and I think it's nice when it's worked into everyone.
Yeah, I think it's a nice look. It's a clean look. I think I said the one thing I don't like. They like reference it, which is fine, but I think the helmet looks kind of dumb with that outfit. So, but they don't really put that there. He just kind of wears it and takes it off like right away.
Yeah.
But he's taking his oath, I guess, as king, and you can already tell he's like a very arrogant.
Yeah, he's like the warrior, the warrior who hasn't lost, who's like, I can't lose. Like, yeah.
Yeah, he's very arrogant when taking this, and right before he's about to be crowned, Odin using his
Odin magic,
Odin magic, which is going to be a running theme in this movie.
It's pretty much how we explained everything we could not connect.
Yeah, anything that didn't make sense was just like Odin magic. He suddenly senses these 3 frost giants are in the treasure room.
Yeah.
Trying to take the casket. Do we want to talk about the somewhat cameo that the Infinity Gauntlet is in the treasure cave?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's like you run past and there's like a one there, but then they say it's like a fake one.
Oh.
Because it doesn't make sense to the movie anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. You would think this is we're doing it chronologically in the sense of the story.
This was the second last movie to come out before Avengers.
So how many movies were they in? They had to be in.
So we have Iron Man 2, and we have the Hulk. That might be it.
They weren't. I mean, they were 4, which for some things like books or whatever might be like, oh, you might not want to double down on this yet. But like movies, 4 multi-million-dollar movies.
I don't think they knew they were using Thanos yet.
You don't think?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think they were gonna do the Avengers and then
go from there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. But Thanos is in the Avengers.
Yeah, but he's only in that last teaser, so like if you didn't want to use him, you just cut that last scene out.
Okay. Anyway, giants get stopped
by the Destroyer.
By Senor Laserface.
The coolest,
like,
bodiless
minion. Like tough guy minion. It's pretty rad.
It is drone.
It is drone. Drone better than man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, honestly, put the Avengers against like 4 of those. That's gonna be a good fight.
It'd be fun. Well, no, it'd be fun for a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just like if Hulk wasn't there.
I don't know. 4 dudes shooting a Hulk with fire lasers from their face.
That'd be neat.
That'd be a rad scene.
There we go. We just made a miniseries. And then what we get is this kind of conflict here, which, again, I'm not going to go too much into it, but when you watch Thor 3, it adds a lot to this this argument here.
I'm sure, and
but basically the argument is Thor wants to say, like, yo, let's just go wreck them for doing this as an act of war, and Odin's like, that's going to bring war here and death and destruction.
It's honestly a really interesting kind of foreshadowing Thor's character by the end.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is very much like, well, they need to pay for this. And I think Odin actually says they did with their lives, and now it's over.
Yeah, he's like the rational one here.
Yeah.
Anthony Hopkins, I will say, I think he did a good job in this movie, but he definitely like loses interest in 2 and 3.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
But he does a pretty good job playing Odin in this movie, which is fine because this is the most we see Odin. But yeah, it's just kind of this idea of like, do we go to fight or do we kind of just let it be? And Odin says like, you're acting like, you know, the child, the foolish soldier, where you need to act like a king.
Mm-hmm. And he pulls rank real quick. He's like, oh, I'm king of Asgard. He's like, but you're not yet.
He's like, oh no, I did not say those last 2 words that would have made it.
I said, I declare you frost giants. Then we went here.
Oh yeah, one thing I do want to point out, there's like thousands of people at this coronation event, and they just leave them. It's just Odin and Thor like sprinting down, and I'm assuming those people are just like, what's going on?
And they didn't bring guards, which granted you have Odin, Thor, and Loki. You don't need guards, but still.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of confusing to everyone.
So we move on.
He starts getting his warriors together, the Warriors 3 and Sif.
The Warriors 3 plus Sif.
Yep.
And Loki. Loki tagged along.
Yeah, well, yeah, because what else? He's the little brother. What else is he going to do?
Yeah.
Drinks water awkwardly.
Water.
And they make the decision that they're going to go to this planet and kind of teach him a lesson. Jotunheim, yes, the ice planet. They get everything together. They're going to go. They go to Heimdall,
who is really underused in this movie because
It gets better.
Yeah, he's just so cool.
Idris Elba does a fantastic job.
I can't think of an action movie I've seen Idris Elba in, and I've been disappointed. Pacific Rim was pretty great, and he wasn't even an action role.
Yeah, he does a pretty good job as in those kind of movies.
Yeah.
But he's playing Heimdall here, and they're going to use the Bifrost to go to Jotunheim to kind of meet with the king and deal with that there.
Yeah, which goes great. Now, it's kind of a cool scene because you get you like a strong differential of characters between Thor and Loki.
Yeah, because Thor automatically goes in. He's like, I'm ready to break something. And Loki like looks around and is like, yeah, this isn't going to be...
We're outnumbered.
This is a bad idea for everyone.
And to be fair, he almost got away with it, too.
Yeah, he almost used his negotiation skills to get them out of here so that nothing would have happened and everything would have been hunky-dory and the movie ends. But then
roll credits!
Yeah, roll credits. But then that Frost King...
Oh, no, it was one of the giant soldiers.
Was it a soldier?
Yeah, no, the king was just watching. One of the soldiers said to Thor, yeah, run home, princess.
And as soon as you saw that, everyone's just like, damn.
Yeah, I think that was what Loki said. Loki's like, damn. And then, like, all the other warriors like, ah, crap.
And then we get this huge fight scene. It's an okay fight scene. Cool. The one thing I don't like about it is there's a lot of those jump cuts.
Yeah, it seemed like they did that a lot, which is kind of annoying because, and I realized it was a different studio. Hulk did the fight scenes really well, and Iron Man for the most part, even though it was a different type of fight scene.
Captain America's got great choreography.
And Captain America also happened later.
Yeah, but it's only a couple months. Like, it's basically the same time.
Yeah, it was.
I think there's 2 months separating these movies.
Okay, it's it's kind of disappointing because you kind of want to see the God of Thunder.
They do that, and also a lot of night fighting in this movie, which I'm not a huge fan of.
Yeah, I guess it's hard. I mean, there's cinematic reasons you do it, but there's also, like, technical reasons you do it.
I think they do it here because you got CGI Frost Giants. Yeah. You don't want to, kind of like with the Hulk, you don't want to do close-ups of them.
Oh, please no.
So shiny.
So, God, it's like rubber. And then, so, they have this awesome fight scene. The one dude gets impaled.
Yeah, one of the Warriors 3 gets impaled on like some ice. They also
couldn't tell you their names.
No, there's Sif, and then
there's the Sif, which is the girl one. There's the rapier wielding Robin Hood one. There's the big one, and then there's the samurai. And that's about all I got.
Samurai with a mace or Morning Star.
Oh man, I want to do that now.
We have this whole fight going on. Thor's kicking everyone's butt.
Oh yeah,
destroying everything. While the other ones are kind of struggling to keep up, it seems. So you get this huge power discrepancy between the characters there.
I mean, they kind of did do it, but like, imagine if they did that in Avengers. Like how unsatisfying that movie would have been.
If they're just so unequal that.
Well, I mean, there's Hulk, but like, there's still challenge to it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it was just like, okay, guys, Thor's gonna handle this because he's a god. Cap, I guess you defend some people, and the rest of you run evac. Like,
we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah.
But honestly, that just kind of would happen.
Nah. It's more than that.
Maybe I need to rewatch it. It's been a little bit.
Okay, so they have that awesome fight scene. They're running away. This giant like ice gorilla lizard thing.
Yeah, I like that thing. It's cool.
It was cool. It was really neat. Important thing. Flashback. The big dude gets hit, like one of the frost giants.
Yeah, I was actually
arm.
about to say that. Yes.
Yeah. Grabs his arm and he starts getting frostbite. So he's like, "Don't let him touch you." Well, then one of them grabs Loki's arm, and
nothing happened.
Loki starts to turn blue.
Nothing like damages him. That's what I said.
Yeah, nothing damages him. He starts to turn blue, and he's like, "Whoa, what was that?" And then they run.
And it looks like this, like, it looks like Thor's gonna be overwhelmed, and he calls this giant thunderbolt and breaks the entire planet. The planet is hollow. Important to know. The planet is hollow.
Yeah, it's like probably good amount of feet thick ice, but still.
It's where all the lizard people live underneath.
I mean, from what we saw, they seem to be proficient at climbing it.
Yes.
They think they get rid of it because the thunderbolt kind of destabilizes everything. Thing falls through the ice, and the people are running away with the injured guy.
Must go faster. Must go faster. Must go faster.
And then they're like, "Yeah, we got rid of it," you know. But then like the shot shifts, and the lizard thing's right under the ice, right under them.
So Thor, doing the most logical thing, decides to just fly with his hammer straight through the throat of the thing.
I mean, why not?
I mean, I guess it worked.
You know.
Kind of gruesome.
Yeah. It was pretty rough.
Yeah, it wasn't a great. It was kind of. Also, he wasn't covered with anything. I thought was weird. Him and his hammer were just kind of.
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, I guess you gotta have that glamorous hair, but
yeah, that Australian golden locks. So they look cornered. Looks all's going to be done, and suddenly the Bifrost fires, and Odin is there
with Sleipnir, which I was going to be really upset if it didn't have 6 legs, but it did.
We did re-roll the tape.
Yeah, because if it didn't have 6 legs, I was about to really have some
It has 4 front legs and is standing on 2 back legs.
Again, not the most ideal setup, but
I think it's just for that one shot to make you happy.
Yeah. Well, look, no, because Sleipnir's like, that's the weird stuff about mythology you remember, alright? You remember the 6-legged horses, man. If that horse didn't have 6 legs, I would have actually had a problem.
Odin goes through his talk with the Frost Giant saying, let the boy, it was a boy mistake, and that's exactly how we should treat it. And the Frost Giant basically says, like, no. This
is war.
This is war. And before he can stab Odin to, like, kill him, and I should also point out this whole time, you can see Odin is, like, about to pass out at any second.
Yeah, he looks tired.
Like, he is wobbling. He looks exhausted.
And Odin says, "See ya," and just Bifrost out there.
Yep, just Bifrost out of there. And then, is this where they finally just say, couldn't they use the Bifrost and just nuke the planet?
Yeah, because they're like, why can't you leave the Bifrost open? And they're like, if we leave the Bifrost...
Oh, that was a little earlier, but yes.
Oh, yeah. They're like, if we leave the Bifrost on... Oh, yeah, because Heimdall says, like, yeah, if you're going to risk Asgard, I'm not going to save you.
Yes.
He's like, why can't you leave it open? He's like, because if I leave it open, it will destroy the world. So...
we get back to the Bifrost room,
mm-hmm.
and we see that they're talking... And Odin is furious.
Yeah, he's like, you're foolish, you're selfish, you're vain.
In fact, he gets so angry.
Oh, I love this. He's like going back and forth, and he's like, you're foolish, you're selfish, you're vain. Thor yells back, and he's like, you're old and a fool. And then Loki tries to chime in.
Loki's like, hey, wait.
And Anthony Hopkins just goes, hiya! And like goes bare for about
Anthony
1
Hopkins,
minute.
There is a solid. We just saw the spike of that acid on the stream. There's a solid like 20 seconds where Anthony Hopkins is more bear than man. So again, this is your meme of the week. Go watch it. It's probably like less than 30 minutes into the movie. It's so just funny. Anthony Hopkins pointing and turning into a bear.
It's so great. He then takes Mjolnir. Yep. Well, he strips Thor of his power.
Yeah, he says like you're not worthy of this, and you're banished for bringing war back to the realm.
Yeah, and so he like pretty much takes away his armor, takes Mjolnir, puts a whole like charm on it that's like, may only the worthy to be Thor wield this hammer.
Though who is worthy may wield the power of Thor.
Yeah,
or something like that.
Something like that.
They throw Thor through it, and then as he's putting this charm on, throws Mjolnir through it while Loki's watching the whole thing.
Yeah. And then that's when we get the scene we saw at the beginning with Thor getting hit by the car in New Mexico.
And then we meet...
which, there is a cool scene as they drive off, where you see Mjolnir enter.
Yeah, that is kind of neat.
And then it, like, impacts and explodes. Which, I realize this is literally a movie based off mythology, but there's some science thrown in. If Mjolnir is made out of a dying star, like they say...
Just Odin magic.
Yeah, but dense as it is to where people can't lift it, it should have impacted way heavier than it did.
It should have probably, like, went to the center of the earth.
It probably would have been extinction level.
Yeah. Odin magic.
Odin magic.
Just Odin magic.
Just Odin magic.
And this is where we meet the love interest of the movie.
And the supporting cast.
Jane Foster, played by Natalie Portman. We get... Stellan Skarsgård playing Eric Selvig, and Kat Dennings playing Darcy. Oh, she does have a last name. Lewis.
Oh, wait. Really? We had to... Oh, wow.
Darcy Lewis.
Interesting.
There's a scene later where Thor says everyone's last name, then says Darcy, and then walks away. So we assume she just didn't have a last name. But yeah, he comes in back to Earth. They kind of hit him with the car, knock him unconscious. They take him to the hospital. They leave him at the hospital.
Yeah.
And we get all these scenes of a crazy Asgardian in an American hospital.
Yeah, he's like throwing people and stuff. And
he gets tasered too before that.
Oh yeah, he got tasered. And we were discussing like he's like a guy, right? But he's like an Asgardian. So I guess Asgardians are stronger.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out where he fit in. Like, he's probably not Captain America strong, but he's like...
Without the hammer, no.
Yeah, but he's like up there.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Because he like, from laying down, or sitting up or whatever, moves his arm and throws a dude, right? Like...
I want to say, I don't know if you've watched any of the Defenders series. Mm-mm. Maybe like Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones throws stuff around.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, he goes to the hospital.
Yeah, I've watched Jessica Jones.
Oh, you've watched that? Yeah, maybe like that.
I mean, David Tennant. You think I'm going to miss out on David Tennant?
Oh, yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, man.
Jessica?
Jessica?
All right, this is not that podcast.
Tune in next week for the Doctor Who podcast.
I will not be on that podcast.
Oh, you'd love it. Okay.
But the following week when we do the Friday Night Lights rewatch,
all
5 seasons, except season 2, we don't talk about season 2.
Oh, God. I am going to be... gone for that one.
He's in the hospital and he's going off like no one can stop the mighty Thor, and then they like put him like
yeah. Oh yeah, they just inject him into butt, which
hey,
they'll show Thor butt.
We didn't
even mention that.
I was going to mention I didn't think there was any butt in this movie. We've got butt.
We got Thor butt, yet you won't show the soldier booty Captain America. Where does your integrity lie?
So there's a running theme in all of the stage.
There's butt in all movies.
Except Captain America.
Was there butt in Iron Man 2?
No, I feel like there was something.
I don't think there was butt.
Was there no butt?
There was almost butt because Whiplash was like half naked in the one scene.
I'm going to have to rewatch the episode. I feel like maybe. I don't know.
I don't think I freaked out about butt.
I don't remember. I feel like we should have, though. Anyway, this is enough of butt talking. While he's in the hospital, Jane Foster goes back to her abandoned 50s diner lab.
Yeah.
And looks through all the pictures, and they see... Darcy actually comes to the discovery that Thor was in the event, so they have to go back. They don't know where he is, so they said we're going to drive over to New Mexico to see him, which comically,
they back up into him, hit him with the car again.
They hit him with the car again. So I mean, they play that joke way too much in this movie. They're like, "Oh,
stranger in a strange land" sort of deal.
No, because that's like Captain America did it good. This is just like, "Oh, I'm the mighty Thor. You can't do this." Average thing knocks him out.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, here's where we start to get into my quarrel with this movie. I feel like they advertised the mighty Thor, right? And that was the big thing. And our father was very excited for this movie too, because he likes Thor, and it was the hype train was ready for Thor, and then we got not Thor trying to figure out why he isn't Thor, and then maybe not even an hour worth of Thor being Thor.
No, it's not even an hour. It might be 30 minutes.
And it's like, it's just like, and it's a good. I appreciate it for the character development.
You need to see 3.
I know. I appreciate it for the character development, but like, I want to see Thor. I want to see lightning slinging.
Yeah, I mean, luckily the next movie kind of makes up for it a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
So, and then we get to the Lee cameo.
Oh, this is the strongest Lee cameo yet.
Let's talk about our disappointment when our scientists made the patented shield scale.
It's so easy just to include us in that.
It is like we're the brainchild of it.
We're the face.
But they're the ones that spent hours and years of development here. When we made the shield scale, we wanted the Lee cameo to like really help like be a neutral thing, and they have been duds.
Oh my god!
After
the
duds.
first one was so disappointing.
I mean, they've just all been absolutely terrible.
I mean, let's not talk about last week's. Last week's was I think last week's was worse. Yeah.
I don't know. What are you talking about? There was no Lee cameo in Iron Man 2.
It's just Larry David.
Just Larry David.
Was that his name? I don't
know. Is that the guy from Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I think that is.
Larry King.
Yeah, that guy.
It's Larry King.
I don't even remember the cameo. See, I used the wrong name. Larry David.
We do get a very good Lee cameo this week. The Mjolnir has landed in the desert. It's impacted into some rocks, and obviously...
And what is the first thing people do? Do they panic? Do they call the authorities?
No, you get a barbecue and a 6-pack, and you go try and pull it out.
Yeah, you do!
I mean, what else are you going to do in New Mexico?
Yeah, I feel like if something landed, the first thing would be like, well, let's go check it out.
I mean, I got nothing else to do on a Saturday.
Yeah.
But we get everyone's trying to pull it out. Obviously, no one can, so... Someone naturally ties chains around it and starts pulling their truck as fast as they can till the back of the truck rips off.
Till the bed comes off.
And naturally...
Stan Lee sticks his head out the window.
Stan Lee's like, did I do it? And everyone's just like, it's funny the old guy can't do it.
Yeah, that is funny.
That was finally a good...
so it's so satisfying.
It was very satisfying is a good word there.
It's so satisfying to finally happen. You know what? Can I make a bold statement? I think the Fantastic Four movies, the old ones, had better Lee cameos.
I don't think that's bold. It's the only thing they have better than these movies. Did you ever see the new Fantastic Four?
No, I just heard it was horrible and I never bought it.
I want to know if Lee's in it.
I hope not. So people are trying to pull it out, and then the feds come.
Yeah, then the feds come, and we get that scene Stinger directly from Iron Man 2. Where you see Coulson there was like, oh, we found it.
Which kind of puts it in context of...
So this is happening at the same time as Iron Man 2.
Well, does the Stinger happen after Iron Man 2 or not?
The Stinger happens after Iron Man 2, but the reason Coulson said he has to go to New Mexico during the movie.
Right.
So that was assumed...
So the Stinger happened during Iron Man 2?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We're piecing this together for you guys.
So
it's complicated.
It is interesting watching it in order.
Yeah, it is. I like it. You get these kind of feel for everything. It's also kind of nice. I mean, we brought up last week as kind of a negative, but having it more condensed, watching it every week.
Yeah, it is definitely...
It allows you to be more analytical and kind of connect things that you probably didn't connect before.
Like, for instance, well, we'll get that later when we get there. I'll just write it down on my notebook.
The Apple Pad.
The Apple Pad.
And no, it is not like an Apple product. It is a notepad.
It is a notepad with
covered
apples
in
on it.
apples. So
I'll use that highlighter to write with.
while he's going on with this, I think it's weird this movie takes place in New Mexico. I brought up the point that the Asgardians and all of them are known for like Norway and Scandinavia, but they always land in New Mexico for some reason now, which makes me believe, do you think Natalie Portman is working in New Mexico to get away from her ex-boyfriend?
He hated sand.
He hated sand. Anakin Skywalker hated sand.
He did.
Right?
Yeah, he did. It's coarse and it's rough and it gets everywhere.
So why not go to New Mexico where that's literally all there is in the state? There's like literally a town with a 7-Eleven, a liquor store, and sand.
He'd be terrified.
Absolutely terrified. We kind of flash back to Asgard. Loki's still trying to figure out why his skin turned blue that one time, so he goes into the vault to pick up the casket, and as he picks it up, he basically goes full ice giant.
Yeah, it's a cool scene.
It's a cool transformation, and right when he like gets those like red eyes is when Odin comes in.
And it's kind of impressive that Loki just pieces it all together, where he's like, you didn't just take this casket from the giants, did you? And he's like, no, there was a child, and he was going to die, and I said, And I brought up the point, if Loki's an ice giant baby, why wasn't he ice giant size? To which, of course, the only answer is...
Odin magic.
Odin magic. And then I brought up another point of when he found the ice giant baby... I refuse to believe ice giant babies are the same size as Asgardian/human babies.
Well, he's telling a story.
Oh, so it's just like...
Odin's story magic.
Odin's story magic, right.
Everything can be explained with Odin magic.
It's true. Hey, why did Tony Stark do Odin magic?
Odin magic.
But Odin's with Thor. Allfather, dude. I'm sorry, it's not only Thor movie's father. No, it's Allfather.
I mean, this is jumping way ahead, but I do like that scene in Spider-Man Homecoming where they have like the first Vietnamese Church of Asgard.
Yeah.
Basically what's happening here. Yeah, Odin magic did it. Okay, that's fine. Loki starts yelling at him, saying all these things about like, I'm not your true son, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. And as he's doing this, he basically Catholic guilts Odin into the Odin coma. Because he's just like yelling like, you
Odin
never
sleep.
Yeah, the Odin sleep, whatever. It just goes going on, and he just collapses. He's still yelling at him, like while his like Odin is like about ready to die, and he's like, "Oh yeah, guards, come in here. He's hurt."
Yeah, and then he starts the Odin sleep, which starts the rule of Loki.
The rule of Loki. Well, the first time.
The first time.
It happens a couple times.
Yeah.
We go back to New Mexico. Thor is chowing down at a diner. My favorite scene in the movie, I think. Another, and he just smashes a coffee cup. I still use that line.
Yeah, who doesn't, man?
Yeah, so it's a good line.
I mean, it's 2018. It survived 7 years.
It's having a good run for itself.
It's pretty good. Nice meme.
And while they're in the diner, they hear about this satellite that landed 50 miles west, which they piece together is Mjolnir.
Yep, and then Thor says, "Well, I'm gonna walk 50 miles west and get Mjolnir.
I need a horse."
Yeah, goes into a pet store. He's like, "I need a horse." He's like, "We don't have horses. We have like dogs and cats and birds." And Thor just says, "Okay, get me one big enough to ride." Which kind of gives a good insight into Asgardian pets, I suppose.
Yeah.
Super dire dogs.
Everything's big. One quick note before we get to the big hammer scene. I did like that the high school is home of the Vikings.
Yeah,
just a little throw in there. It's like, it's neat.
That's pretty good.
So Jane Foster decides she wants to know more because her entire lab has now been taken by S.H.I.E.L.D. Coulson has confiscated everything. So she's like, I had nothing left to lose. I'll give Thor this ride and he'll tell me everything. So they go to the compound at night. They see it's all surrounded.
They attempt to stealth.
Do they really, though?
I mean, they do, and then it's S.H.I.E.L.D., so, S.H.I.E.L.D.'s paranoid.
Yeah, S.H.I.E.L.D.'s pretty good at that stuff.
And then, so they find them, and then Thor just says, alright, we're charging in this, and, destroys everyone.
Yeah, it's like no challenge. He's throwing people around. So he gets that last guy. That's kind of fun.
The big dude.
The big guy. You're big. I fought bigger.
Yeah. Oh, man, he gives Thor a run for his money. There's a sweet... For all you ladies out there, there's a sweet mud wrestling scene between Thor and this big dude.
I mean, we all know what audience I was going for.
Yeah. It's like the shower scene in the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I swear from all my friends who were girls that I heard was like, oh my god, that shower scene. I'm like, great.
Well, I guess is it has Hugh Jackman passed the mantle to Chris Hemsworth for hottest superhero now?
I don't know, man. Wolverine's pretty hot.
I know.
You kind of got lost there.
Yeah. Yeah, let's drop that.
Yeah, let's.
We get that awesome drop kick of.
Yeah, where he just jumps both feet into the big dude's chest.
That was awesome. By far
So
the best scene of
good.
that fight, which again is another night fight scene. You've got some jump cuts, not a ton, but some. And while they're doing this,
that's
Hawkeye,
probably the best use of slow mo in that film, right?
That was by far the best use of slow mo in that movie. It was amazing.
It was so good.
Hawkeye's watching this whole thing.
Which this is the first Hawkeye.
It is the first Hawkeye, and I love like they did that thing like, oh, I'll take the sniper. Just kidding, I'll take the bow and arrow instead.
Yeah, like the fact that he would even entertain the idea is interesting.
So he goes to the hammer and he pulls it, and then he realizes that it's not budging.
Yeah, he's not worthy to be Thor, which has to suck when your name's Thor.
And he kind of has this like breakdown. Everyone's watching him, and yeah, it's just kind of this moment where he realizes like I'm not going to be what I need to be to get this hammer and go back home.
Yeah, and he kind of just accepts the fact that he's like, I'm here now.
Yeah, I don't think he's fully accepted it yet. He accepts it very soon, but I think he does realize like it's not going to be as easy as I thought it was going to be. So he gets captured by S.H.I.E.L.D. And he's in this room. Coulson starts interrogating him. He thinks he's human. He's this mercenary or something. As Coulson steps out, Loki transports in.
Which it's really unclear if he's doing this from Asgard. Because Loki is, as we've seen, a master of illusion magic. So it's like, is he kind of like, to use a D&D term, scrying? Or like...
No one knows what that means.
Like seen somewhere else with magic? Or is he like teleported there? Because no one else seems to see him.
No one else seems to see him. And as he's talking to Thor, he tells him, "You're never coming back. The only way the peace treaty lasts is if you
hey man,
stay banished."
Good on Loki. That's a good... He covered all the bases.
Yeah, he made it very convincing, and Thor basically accepts it.
And what he says is like, well, what about Mother? And he's like, Mother won't allow it. Just like she won't allow war to come to the kingdom. Like, it's for the greater good.
So, and then this is where I think Thor's like, okay, so this is life now.
It's like, all right, well, if I'm here and it's doing good by Asgard, then I guess I'm here.
And as he walks away, Loki tries to pull the hammer and can't.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which not surprising.
Not surprising. Yeah, he's not gonna be able to do that.
Yeah.
We then get. I don't know if this is the exact same scene, but I do want to point out the fact that while Loki's doing this with Thor, he's also talking to the ice giants.
Mm-hmm.
And he makes the deal that, like, I want you to come kill Odin.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I kill him, it'll look bad. But if you kill him, it's whatever. And in exchange, I'll give you guys the casket and leave you guys alone on this ice planet.
Yeah.
So he makes that deal, and Heimdall sees this.
Well...
Or Heimdall doesn't see it. I'm sorry.
But he notices that he doesn't see it.
Yeah, which is a big deal. He knows if I can't see
what
it... What
Heimdall does is scrying. That's Heimdall's thing.
Okay.
That's what just seeing somewhere else that you're not is scrying.
Okay.
D&D people are loving it.
The like two of them that listen to this?
Yeah, they're loving it.
Oh, okay.
They're freaking out right now. They're going nuts. Divination magic.
I'm gonna just stop you now so we can actually.
No, that was a good example. Okay. So yeah, Heimdall confronts Loki and he's like, "Yeah, I just happened to look over there and noticed that I couldn't see or hear you. That's kind of weird, bud."
Because that's like my job.
Yeah, kind of literally the thing I do.
Literally the only thing I do.
Stand in this dome and look at things. That's it. That's the job description. Which Loki's like, well, you know, there are many ways in and out of here. So.
And I'm king now, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. He then just freezes Heimdall.
Does he do that yet?
I thought he did.
I think we're jumping a little ahead, but it's fine. We go back to Earth.
Oh yeah, he doesn't.
Selvig has that plan to get him out. They say he's whatever, which
he's what's her name's ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, which I guess is originally a Thor in one of the comics, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool throwback.
Yeah, it's neat. Marvel's really good at those throwback things. And S.H.I.E.L.D. knows right away it's fake. Like,
oh yeah, there's falsified information.
Everything's like, oh nope, this is wrong. This is wrong, and they're like, yeah, just go and we'll follow them. We go to the bar.
Yeah, what a good scene. Well, Thor swipes the notebook too.
Oh yeah, he steals a notebook. Important for later.
They go to the bar, and it's pretty much like you kind of get a bit of Selvig's backstory, of like, I taught with Jane's father, and I care for her, so don't hurt her. And Thor's like, I wouldn't do that. He's like, good. So I'll buy you the next round, and you get out of town.
And they agree, and they buy Boilermakers. Now, have you ever had a Boilermaker?
I've not.
So I have.
Okay.
While watching this movie.
It's just
in college.
It's whiskey in beer, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So shout out to Jared. Jared, I know you're listening because you're my buddy that did it with me.
Oh
we dropped some
Jared Wood.
some Old Crow, which is about $6 a bottle of whiskey, into some Lion's Head.
No.
Let me tell you, literally, we were crying at the end of this thing. This is the worst thing we've ever done to our bodies.
No, never.
It was not a fun time.
Which, interesting thing, because the only experience I have with things we drop shots into beer is that you drop the glass in. They just poured it in. And these were big mugs, too.
Well, see, the problem is we tried to do the drop thing when we did it, and it's just so bad, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Didn't matter at all.
Yeah, they did that, and it like, while they're drinking, you see them, like, eyeballing each other. It's totally turned into a contest.
Well, I think Selvig's just like, crap, what have we got into? And Thor's like, we doing this now?
Oh, okay, that's the way to interpret it. I thought it was, like, them just being like, no, I can drink this faster.
No, I think it was that, like, I think Thor's like, you don't know what you just did.
Yeah, you don't know what you got yourself into, my friend.
Gave me there's a really good line that comes later as he's taking him back to the van.
Oh, yeah.
I did not remember this line, but I want to use it now. It's just Thor saying, we drank, we fought, he made his ancestors proud, and he just throws him on the bed.
yeah. And then Selvig says, like, I don't think you're Thor, but you want to be.
Oh, you should be.
Oh, yeah, you should be.
So then we get this moment that Jean and Thor are out.
Which let's talk, Thor wasn't even drunk. Thor wasn't even close.
No, not even close. Not even tipsy.
That scares me.
Could probably drive.
That scares me, honestly.
Well,
I don't want to know what it takes for that guy to get inebriated.
What was that scene from Ultron where he brings that super liquor?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Another good Lee cameo there.
We're jumping ahead on Lee cameos.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about.
It's just so exciting. We finally got a good one.
Let's just talk about it now, because we're in this scene where it's just them. There is no good female character development in this movie at all.
And like you get the funny character on the Earth side is Darcy, and it's like, okay. But
she's not even that funny.
Yeah.
I can't tell you one line besides the iPod one, which I thought was dumb.
Yeah.
That she says.
Yeah, that's fair. She tries.
Does she?
Well, yeah, and it is just kind of like Jane Foster. It's just, I'm Jane Foster, and I'm a scientist, and I want to discover this stuff.
Yeah, and then you got Sif, who's like, you get no development at all besides she's a warrior who.
It's the classic, and nothing wrong with powerful women characters, but I wish people would do them right, because it's the classic like, well, I'm a woman, but I can be one of the best warriors ever. But that's it. That's my character. There's nothing else.
Yeah, and there's not even anything to prove it, because she doesn't even fight very well when it gets to that final scene. So it's just like.
I mean, I guess when you can go toe to toe with Thor, you're like good, but I don't know.
It's just.
It's a whole.
Character development in this movie is pretty weak overall.
Except for the main character. It's all for Thor.
And Loki.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
And Loki.
So there's that, and Thor kind of explains how the realms work and Yggdrasil and all that, and how they're all connected.
And she's loving it.
Yeah, she's loving it. She's buying it.
Yeah, she's all in. We go back to Asgard.
Yes.
We've got the Warriors 3 and Sif. They're like, we have to go save Thor.
Yeah.
Let's make this plan.
Oh yeah, and this is where they discovered Loki's king.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they're like, we have to go talk to Odin's wife, whose name I forget. Freya. Yeah, that's it. They're like, we have to go talk to Freya. And it's like, yeah, okay. So they go, and then Loki's on the throne. And they're like, Loki, what you
You're
doing?
not here.
And then he's like, I'm king now. I am the king. He's like, oh, can we talk to Freya? And he's like, no, you can talk to me. They're like, okay, king. And they like kneel down. And do they get to see where they talk about betraying it? Is that now?
Yeah, I guess.
It's
gonna be now.
It is now. And they're like, well, we have... No, it's later now they think about it, but whatever. They're like, well, we have to betray this. And they're like, are you kidding? What if Heimdall's watching? And then a guard comes in and he's like, Heimdall wants to see y'all.
Yeah, they go to Heimdall. It's like, are you willing to like betray the king and like throw down your oath? And they're like, yeah, I guess. He's like, good.
Yeah. He's like, I'm kind of with the king, so I can't do it. But my sword's in the key.
I left my sword and I have to go to the bathroom now.
Yeah, pretty much how that goes.
So they go to New Mexico, where we get them walking through this town where one of the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents says, I'd like to report Xena, Jackie Chan, and Robin Hood.
Which, we pointed out, Jackie Chan's a real person. Like, Robin Hood and Xena's like, okay, I can see where you make that connection. Jackie Chan's a person.
You know why he was called that.
Because of the mace?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because
Jackie Chan's signature mace?
Jackie Chan's signature mace is why he was called that.
No, it's just, that was probably one of the most racist lines. And we dealt with Bowler Hat Dude.
Bowler Hat Dude, yeah.
Like, that was a really racist line. Like, and probably unintentionally so, and I don't think anyone caught it in theaters. But, like, going back and watching, it's like, gosh!
This is a Disney movie.
Yeah, like, oh, man.
I mean, they did do Dumbo, though, so.
Oh, God.
Do you want to get that? No, we don't. Loki sees the Bifrost has been used. He knows they're gone. So he sends the Destroyer to eliminate...
Oh, wait, you mean he saw the giant death laser being fired?
Giant rainbow death laser.
Yeah. Oh, that's subtle. I don't know how he saw that.
He sends the Destroyer to eliminate Thor, so the Destroyer comes with... Destroyer's so cool.
The return of Senor Laserface.
The Destroyer's so cool.
Which, this brings me to my note I made earlier. When the Destroyer lands, S.H.I.E.L.D. intercepts it, and one of the guys asks, oh, one of Stark's? To which Coulson replies, I don't know, he doesn't tell me anything. Coulson should know. Because Coulson left mid-Iron Man 2.
You're right.
Coulson should know. It's like, no, Stark's busy. Like, and all of his stuff was practically destroyed.
Yeah.
Coulson should know.
Coulson being dumb here.
So...
Unless he didn't want to reveal that info too early.
I guess.
That's a stretch, though.
But, like...
We're pulling at straws
yeah,
there.
it's like... Oh, there's a little inconsistency there. Which, again, is because we're watching it week to week.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
No one would have thought of that. Like, if you watched it.
Someone has thought of it.
Someone would have thought of it, but...
Not us.
No,
not the
us.
average movie-going pleb.
No, absolutely not.
The Destroyer comes, starts blowing stuff. Destroyer's so cool. I love Destroyer.
He's shooting fire out of his face hole.
I like the scene they're going through town. He's blowing stuff up. The warriors try and fight it, and Sif like impales it through the back of the neck.
Yeah,
and then
it's
it
a
just
little bit of body horror too.
And then it just turns its whole body around to shoot her.
Yeah, and it's not like, oh, I'm gonna rotate 180 at the like just the chest area.
Everything.
It's
changes.
like the hands flip to the other side. It's like kind of like it's cool, but it is a bit of a body horror scene.
It is so cool. They're fighting this thing. It's obvious they're not going to win.
Yeah.
So Thor says, I'll buy you time.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Thor pulls the sacrifice, which was, I guess, putting himself above others.
Well,
putting others above himself.
I did like the scene where he's like giving the speech like, Loki, if killing me is going to make everything better, then just do it. Leave them alone.
That was probably one of the best.
And you brought up this note about Loki at the time. About the guards.
Yeah. So I don't know how Loki controls the Destroyer, if it's remote or something. But there's a point, he's sitting on the throne and there are two guards, I'm pretty sure. There's two guards. And there's a point when, like, the Destroyer kind of stops attacking when he does this whole speech of, like, you know, whatever I've done to wrong you, if killing me makes it right, then do it. That's fine by me. Like, I'm just sorry. It's like, I'm truly sorry. And then, like, the Destroyer stops.
And, like, Loki's standing up now.
Yeah, Loki's standing up. And as it's pretty much, like, figured that the guard has no way to know what's going on. Like, there's not like a
There's
TV
no
screen.
communication happening between Loki. Loki's not saying a word.
No, and he's just looking. And then, like, the destroyer, like, looks like he's about to turn away, and then just kind of, like, backhands Thor real quick. Thor goes flying. Deus Ex Mjolnir comes in.
Yeah, you were not happy about that at all.
Because all it said was, if you're worthy to be Thor, you can lift this hammer. It didn't say, if Thor suddenly becomes worthy, I'm gonna fly to him.
I actually think it says wield the hammer. Does that change your opinion at all?
Okay. The only way I will accept this, and there's no way, absolutely zero, it could be confirmed, is if the whole time Thor was trying to call the hammer to him.
He's just like passed out.
Yeah, exactly. Because he does it in the movie to where he can call it back to him. That is the only way I will accept that. Is if a writer from the team of this movie confirms that's what happened. I don't know who the writers on this movie were. Not off the top of my head. But if they message us and say, yeah, that's what was happening, I will back off.
Ashley Miller and Zach Stentz, get on it.
Either of you, if you hit me up and say, yeah, man, that's what was happening, I'll say,
hit up the Couch Gnomes.
Okay.
Let's confirm this.
Okay.
The fans need to know.
I'll back off. That's fair.
So Thor gets his powers back, gets his whole uniform.
Sweet transformation sequence.
Sweet Power Ranger transformation sequence.
Which you never interrupt.
You never interrupt that, because he tries and he just gets a hammer to the face.
Yeah, try to shoot a laser, get a hammer to the face. To which case, when he's transforming, Loki's now not just standing in front of his throne, off the throne, down the stairs, at the edge of the room.
Again, has not said a word. The guards are just probably staring at him like, what is going on?
If I was that guard, I'd be looking at the other guy like, I did not sign up for this, my dude.
And we get to watch Thor make a giant tornado.
Oh, yeah.
To the destroyer.
This is probably the coolest scene in the movie.
Oh, it's so cool. The destroyer's like, keep firing. He's knocking it away. And eventually he just flies at him with the hammer. And
it's like a lightning strike, and then the destroyer explodes, and it's
awesome.
It just makes like a sweet explosion out of
his
the tornado.
His head blows up, but the whole body's still there.
Oh man, it's so good.
So cool. And then they say like we have to go back. Heimdall has been frozen at this point.
Yeah, Heimdall got frozen, which is like crazy, because like while mid being frozen, still almost killed Loki.
Almost killed Loki. Was about to kill Loki.
Yeah.
Which would have ended the movie, and you roll credits.
Roll credits. Heimdall brings Thor back. Yeah, Loki betrayed us. Oh, that's it.
Didn't see that coming.
Would also end 2. And potentially 3? I don't know.
Maybe 3 too.
2 probably wouldn't have happened.
2.
Avengers definitely wouldn't have.
Yeah. So, Heimdall breaks out of the ice. He brings them back. At this time, the Frost Giants are already on Asgard, and they're about to kill Odin. They break into the throne room, or not his throne room, his bedroom. They knock over Freya. Freya kills one, though.
One hit. One
straight
kill.
Through someone.
Yeah, just like Frost Giant came up, she's like, nah, not the first one.
Renee Russo, you don't mess with her.
Yeah, man.
They're about to kill Odin, and then Loki kills the Frost Giant.
Which, we'll go for after the movie on that one.
Okay, but the whole thing is now he's spinning the story that he saved the day.
Yeah.
So, Loki always has a plan.
Which is kind of cool.
It's cool. But what he didn't plan for was Thor being there, saying, like, do you want to tell him the fact you, like, betrayed everyone?
Yeah.
And
How about the fact that you sent the destroyer to kill me? Let's bring that up.
You want to talk about that at all? No? Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
So now we're finally get the Loki-Thor fight.
Yeah, which ends up on Bifrost.
Ends up on the Bifrost, and Loki starts the Bifrost at...
pretty much Death Star's Jotunheim.
Jotunheim, that's it. He's going to blow the whole thing up. And Thor's trying to stop it now.
Yeah.
The guy who wanted to kill them all at the beginning of the movie is now trying to save them.
It's actually kind of a cool character flip, now thinking on it.
Yeah, it's neat. They get this huge fight, and it basically comes to the point that no matter what, he can't stop it because Loki's frozen it.
Right.
So Thor does the only thing he can, which is use his hammer to break the Rainbow Road and knock the Bifrost out.
The Rainbow Road.
Oh God! Now I'm PSD.
Yeah. So breaks the the Rainbow Bridge. Sends Bifrost plummeting off the edge.
So, and now Jotunheim's saved. He grabs onto Loki before he falls.
Yeah.
And then, for some Odin magic...
Odin instant transmission.
Yeah, Odin faster than light. Odin faster than the Flash is able to grab them before they both fall.
Was faster than Quicksilver. Odin.
Odin is the fastest person in the world, apparently. Loki's going off like, I tried to do this for you, to do all this, and Odin's like, no, not like this, not like this. So Loki lets go and
falls. When I first watched this movie, I remember thinking, like, Loki just killed himself. But watching a second time, noticed he fell into the rift.
Yes, there was a little bit of the space still there, like swirling. He falls into it, and then it like seals up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of the end of the movie. They have like a big banquet to celebrate it, and they kind of go on this thing like, "Oh, he still misses her." It's like, no, he doesn't.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you mean he misses the piece of cardboard he met?
Yeah, seriously, it's such bad character development.
There's nothing there.
We get those, we get the stinger scene where Selvig is shown the Tesseract from Fury, and you can see that he's possessed by Loki.
Mm-hmm. Which Nick Fury says, Selvig's like, what is it? And Nick Fury says, oh, this is power, potentially unlimited power if we can know how to tap it. Which 1940s super Nazis knew how to tap it.
Yeah, Asgardians should be able to do this in no problem.
Yeah, you would think.
Or, just give it to Tony Stark.
Well, Asgardians know it's an Infinity Stones. They'd probably be like, let's lock it up.
Or just give it to Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony Stark never sees this, does he? Until, like, the end of the...
No, which Tony Stark would have been like, gimme.
Oh, yeah, I got this. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put it in my chest.
Yeah, exactly. Tony, what'd you do with that test? Oh, my God. I made a suit of infinite arcane power.
Wow, you got really excited for that, didn't you?
It would be funny. I mean, honestly, there's a League of Legends character like that. Look up Zareth, but besides the point.
So that's Thor, 2011.
That's Thor, the 2011 Thor.
So now we've got to go through and rank this movie to see where it stands in the end of Phase 1.
Brendon, would you like me to break down the shield scale?
Does a bear poop in the woods?
I don't know in modern day society if that's true or not.
Yeah, let's break it down.
Okay. Shield scale, where the S stands for scoundrel. How is the villain of the movie? The H stands for hero. How is the hero of the movie? The I stands for integrity. Does it hold up? The E stands for entertainment. Did you have fun while watching it? Maybe you laughed at that goof. The L, the most important, the Lee cameo. Was that Lee cameo good? First forward. And the D stands for development. Because, it's a whole universe. We've got to figure out how this one leads into the next.
Also, again, important to note, these are not weighed equally. There's a special scientific formula created. Secret
patty formula.
People order our patties. We are not going to reveal that. Maybe someone can guess it, maybe not. Who knows? Let's go through this. Thor, let's start with the scoundrel. So I'm going to be lumping the Destroyer in there.
Oh, that's
Loki.
That's curving that score.
Do you think that's not fair? I mean, that is kind of a.
It's a really cool minion.
It's a really cool minion.
All right, we'll accept it.
All right.
The board agrees.
The board. No.
Oh, sorry.
The board.
The council agrees.
The council can agree. The board.
I forgot the board.
The board is way above our level.
The board is the board.
All right, so we're looking at the villain here, which we're going to say is the Destroyer and Loki. Loki has a cool character development here. You kind of get that reveal that he's like this thing he didn't know he was. And then he kind of has this plan. He's not actually trying to be a villain really till the end where like his whole plan falls apart.
Yeah.
I think he develops a little more in the other movies.
Yeah.
I think this is a good thing. But I do like the Destroyer. I think it's really cool. And if we really want to go deep, we could say the Frost Giant. That one fight scene's kind of neat there. I think we're going to go with 2.75 here. It's a little bit above average compared to some of the other things we've seen.
Okay. I will say going into this, I remember not liking Loki's motivation to be a villain. Because it was just, you lied to me, I'm a Frost Giant baby. But you raised me as a prince and like your son. And I'm mad about that. And then going into it, watching it again, and getting it over again, it was more of a, I just want to be equal or better than Thor. Like, I don't care that I'm a frost giant baby. I'm going to use that against Odin to make, like, I was never your favorite and sort of thing. So I think it is a little better. Because of that, I will give it a 2.5.
2.5? So you thought it was going to be...
Guardian was rad. I'm not even going to fight that. The Guardian was freaking sick.
Does it add a little 0.25 rad? Nope. Okay.
2.5 was with the Guardian factored in.
Okay. Hero. So we're talking about Thor here. So, and here's the important thing I remember. We're just talking about Thor. Because if there was any other character development, this is not going to go well.
God. Thor was kind of... I mean, he started off as the Thor everyone wanted, and then kind of turned into the character I like. This kind of, like, hero who's seen his wrongs and is now like, I was an idiot. I still am an idiot. Like, I just want to try to right my wrongs. Like, not a sacrificial hero, but definitely one that has seen his mistakes and is willing to pay for them. So I think it's nice. It's satisfying to see that switch. That being said, he also slings lightning and throws hammers at people, and that's pretty rad.
It's pretty neat.
You know what? I'll be generous. I'll give it a 3.
You're gonna go 3? Alright, yeah, so you get this development here. Like I said, you got this arrogant jerk at the beginning of the movie that's about to be king, and going through this series of
Some
trials.
could say he just can't wait to be king.
No. No one said that.
I mean, I'm just saying if you could akin it to someone just who couldn't wait to be king.
Just because they're both Disney movies doesn't mean everything has to connect.
I mean...
Wait. We have to watch Black Panther first.
Yo, if Black Panther's just a rewrite of Lion King but with superhero suits, won't be upset.
It'll be fine. What's going to be the wilderness
More
scene?
Elton John.
More Elton John.
The Soviet Accords?
So by the way, if you need some more Elton John in your life, Kingsman 2. Go see it.
Oh, yeah?
Go watch it. A huge Elton John scene there. He actually dropkicks someone. It's amazing. And
as good as the Thor dropkick?
Well, he's wearing a giant, like, peacock dress thing.
Oh, that's a yes.
Alright, so we got this Thor, the transition there. I think it's okay. I like the fight, at the end, where you kind of see his powers come out. So it's kind of cool. I think 3's fair. Yeah, we'll give it a little 3 there. A little above average there with what we saw. The integrity is probably where this movie is going to fall apart.
Yeah.
The integrity, we're saying, is how this movie holds up, which I'm going to say then, I'm going to look at the other character development in this too.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we know now Jane Foster's out of the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Darcy's out of the MCU.
Well, yeah, she has a show now. A TV show.
She had a show before. Well, this was on, I think.
Oh, was it?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't watch it. The Warriors 3 are basically out of it by now. Sif, I don't think still in it.
The Warriors 3 are like cool character concepts, and if they just worked them in, like if you did Thor 2 as Thor and gang tackles this, that would have been cool.
The gang goes and fights the elves.
Yeah,
and then just play it.
Which one of them was that's 2 doctors in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Throw Matt Smith in there. Oh, baby. Peter Capaldi.
I'm still waiting for Al Pacino wants to be in Infinity War. I want that to be a thing. It's going to be amazing.
That would be cool.
So, I mean, you've got these characters that no longer do. There's no character development. I mean, you get this idea of, like...
There's no power scaling either. Like, have they gotten stronger?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell that.
Yeah.
The only thing we can really tell is Thor's so much stronger than all his friends.
Right. Which, the guy Thor was at the beginning of the movie, is that surprising? Thor would pick people who's like, I'm stronger than you, I'm stronger than you, I'm stronger than you.
You make me look better.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the CGI holds up pretty well, so that's going to help a little bit. There are scenes,
There are some scenes, but, like, Asgard still looks really good.
Asgard looks good. I mean, I think the scene we always complain about is, like, when you first see the Destroyer come out, the wall...
Oh, yeah, it's at that, like, weird up angle in the wall, like, just looks cheap.
That was terrible. Yeah. That was terrible.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, this is definitely where we're going to dock at points. That being said, like, there's still some okay things in here. Like, it
didn't feel dated. Nothing about it felt like, oh, that's a dated. Like, it wasn't like Tony Stark with a flip phone dated, you know?
If this came out this year, you wouldn't see a massive difference. Like,
Yeah.
So, I'm thinking maybe 1.75. Like, it's slightly below. I can maybe push to 2, but I just think the character development's really.
Yeah, character development's. Yeah. I'll go 1.75.
You're gonna go 1.75 too.
Because when you factor in character development, yeah, it's just not.
All right, entertainment. So, how much did you actually enjoy this movie?
I mean, they do a lot of funny Stranger to Strangeland things with Thor, where it's like, and it's like you brought up the whole like, oh well, I'm the mighty Thor, you can't stop me. Oh no, an everyday thing stopped me, like stuff like that, and it was funny, and there were some cool action scenes, and I personally like character development. As I've gotten older and more into like creating stuff, I've started to like character development more. So I definitely like that. Plus, man, every scene with the Destroyer is just awesome.
Destroyer scene's fun. I do like when they go to Jotunheim. That's a fun scene.
Yeah.
You've got his transformation scene's cool.
No, that just tickles every Power Ranger fan's fancy.
The final fight's okay. I love Heimdall. Anything scene he's in, he's doing great.
So good.
There's some really good quotes in here.
Anthony Hopkins turns into a bear.
Anthony Hopkins turns into a bear. So look at my entertainment. I might go 3.25.
I'm gonna stick at 3.
You're gonna stick at 3?
Yeah. I'm pretty comfortable staying at 3.
Okay. Lead cameo. Do you want to take this one? This is like your favorite.
Oh man, I cannot say. I almost wanted to cry tears of joy when we finally got a good Lee cameo.
So I will say, what's going to be hard. We're trying our best to stay unbiased here.
Yeah.
And not let the other movies influence us.
What was our highest Lee cameo was Iron Man 1 where he was Hugh Hefner.
Yes.
Which not a bad one.
It's slightly above average.
The Hugh Hefner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're trying not to have that influence that we've just had a bunch of stinkers in a row, but
it's so refreshing and satisfying.
What are you giving it?
Man, I'll give it a 3.75.
Ooh, okay. So
I know you like this is like one of your favorites.
This is like when I think Lee cameos,
that's yours.
First or second one I think of. The only one that I could think of that's going to come to my mind quicker is actually the first Amazing Spider-Man where he's in the library.
Which sucks because that's not even part of the MCU.
We could do it.
I was gonna say that's probably my favorite.
Those are definitely probably the 2 Lee cameos I think of first.
Yeah.
4.75.
What? Wow.
This is a great...
That is the first Lee cameo anyone has given above a 3. Or I'm sorry, has broken 4.
This is the first one that broke. It's almost perfect. The only reason I'm not going to give it perfect is I'm sure I'm going to see one. I guess the one thing I will say is it doesn't really tie the plot in other than you know that Mjolnir's not getting pulled anytime soon.
Right.
So I'm going to wait for the perfectly cameo that I love and that might tie into the plot a little more. 4.75 for Stan Lee in a truck.
And honestly, I think I now I don't have a catalog of every Stan Lee cameo in my head.
Really?
I mean, a lot are in there, but I can't remember all of them. I didn't remember the Larry King one.
Larry David.
Yeah, Larry David. But I think the only one I could give a 5 off the top of my head right now would be that Spider-Man one.
That was really good.
That's just, it's like so Spider-Man.
So Spider-Man.
That's just a perfect... If we ever do that as a bonus one, which I think almost with our history of our differing opinions of the Spider-Man movies...
Oh, yeah.
We almost... If maybe when we're done this, we'll do more on like that.
We've already been asked...
The Spider-Man Chronicles.
People have already asked us to do the X-Men movies.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. People are asking us if we're going to do X-Men, which I would...
Let's get to the MCU. Let's get to that, and then we'll do more.
Yeah, I think that's the plan.
Well, yeah, let's do that.
Let's do it.
That sounds fun.
It's fun.
And then we won't be on the schedule. We can just kind of do it when we want.
No, people need this every week. Or at least every other week.
We'll see.
At least every other week after that.
We'll see.
All right, finally, development. So how does this tie the rest of the MCU in? So Not a ton of development in this one, if you think about it. So you've got the Asgardians brought in there.
I was going to say, that's the main one.
You bring the Asgardians into the MCU, but you're looking at, you got no if you count the Stinger, you've got Infinity Stone, but really no Infinity Stones in here.
I wouldn't count the Stinger.
Yeah. So, yeah, and like I said, you bring the Asgardians in. They mentioned Stark once, but there's no.
They mentioned Stark.
They also do kind of mention the Hulk. Selvig does.
They do. He brings up that he knew a guy who was a lead in
gamma radiation,
and then Shield came in, and they never heard from him again.
Yeah, so you kind of got that in. You've got Shield getting involved. You got Hawkeye.
Hawkeye. I mean, when you look at it, you do meet 2 Avengers.
You have 2 Avengers in here.
We'll say 2 Genesis Avengers.
Well, you got 2 Avengers, and also Selvig plays a big role in the movie.
In Avengers, he does.
Yeah, so it's not like, I mean, he's also, I guess you got to include him. He actually has a decently sized role in the MCU compared to the other one.
Yeah.
I think it's below average, 2.25. Maybe I can be talked up to 2.5.
Yeah. What's our? What do we got as our lowest? Our lowest is Hulk.
Yes.
And that still is 1.5 from both of us. So
I don't think there's going to be any movie that drops below that either. I think 1.5 might.
They're all, and that's like
especially because now once we get next week's the Avengers,
it's tied.
Everything is tied now.
That development's probably gonna have a pretty steady score from here.
Yeah, the development's really probably that the floor is now 1.5.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give it a 2.
You're gonna go 2?
Yeah, I think Asgardian. I mean, the 2 Avengers is big, but Asgard is a whole nother party brought in.
Yeah, and I think the difference you might have here again, and I keep bringing this up, but I've seen Thor 3. Right. I've seen Ragnarok.
And I'd see if I knew having seen Ragnarok would affect my view of the first movie, I probably would have seen it by now. But I didn't think it did that much backtracking.
It really changes a lot, I think it really changes Odin a lot. Okay. It changes how you view Odin a lot.
That's interesting. Okay. Now I'm kind of interested to see it based off that.
So, we'll get to it eventually, though.
Yeah. Soon I'll be forced to see it.
Yeah, soon you're going to have to sit through and see it.
I mean, I watched Hulk for the first time on this, so...
While I'm calculating this, while scientists are calculating the scores...
Oh, man, you just get so involved in their work.
I'm a hands-on guy.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier. We were having a powwow, if you will. We've been trying to do this in chronological order. And we want to throw it out to you guys. Black Panther comes out in a couple weeks.
Yes.
So there's 2 options we can do for Black Panther. We want the listeners to tell us. We're going to have to see it in theaters. Because there's no way it's going to be out on DVD by the time we need to watch it. So we're going to have to see it in theaters. Would you rather have us do it as a special episode? We kind of skip ahead in the MCU, just do it first reaction live? Or we can record that, get another episode, and then we'll release it later when we have the final scores and do that.
Because we could record it ahead of time. Then when we get to Black Panther in the order, now here's the issue with that is, well, I suppose it's not that bad if we record the scores then. It will be a while till you get to Black Panther. So it's really up to you guys if you would rather have our first impressions or wait, who knows how many months till we get there.
It's going to be right before Infinity War. So it's going to be like May. End of April, beginning of May is when you're going to get that.
So it would be literally probably 3 months from now. Yeah. About 3 months from now is when you'd be getting that.
So let us know in the comments. Would you rather us kind of skip ahead, not do it all chronologically? We do fresh first take on Black Panther. You guys can hear it when we see it. Or do you think we put that in the vault?
Put it on delay.
Put it on delay. We'd probably record it obviously after seeing it, but then we wouldn't release it until right before.
And that'd be a whole day thing. We'd have to go to the movies.
Yeah. Little date day.
Date day. Bro date.
Get some Firehouse maybe?
Ooh.
I think I piqued some interest there.
Maybe. We'll see.
The scientists have come back.
Yeah.
Hours of research, calculations.
Look, we got to talk about this being locked in a room while they're doing that, dude. We got to get at least throw the bucket out the window. I cannot deal with that.
This is not the Middle Ages. We can wait. We're civilized adults.
No.
Well, we're civilized.
We're civilized. Let's be careful with that last term. Let's not throw that around all willy-nilly.
Yeah, we throw that loosey-goosey way too much.
Yeah.
So I've calculated the numbers, and Thor...
You mean the scientist. You gotta stop being so hands-on!
Listen, I'm the one who speaks for them, because they cannot speak.
You're the Lorax of the scientist! Come back next week when we review the Lorax, the keyest movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
The Lorax, I speak for the scientists. The scientists need me. I'm not good at rhyming.
The last need in Thneedville.
We've calculated the numbers. Thor, a very respectable third on our list.
I think that's fair.
So
and that's all the key players, really.
Yeah, so for those of you keep score at home, I'm sure Connor will put this somewhere maybe. But
I usually put it when we announce it.
Okay, but it's it's Iron Man followed by Captain America. Very close 1-2 there in our rankings. Then a little bit of gap. You get Thor kind of solidly in the middle.
I skewed the Iron Man.
You skewed the Iron Man bad.
Yeah, I did.
And then we get Iron Man 2 and the Hulk very distantly ahead.
I did not skew Iron Man 2.
You did not skew Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2 needed our help to not be last. So let's just say that.
Your dad pretty much secured it.
Your dad might be the only reason that's not going to be
Which
the
went
last.
back and watched that scene, not nearly as over enthused as we made it. He's just like, but I do follow your dad, and we just turned into your dad. A battle cry, really.
Oh my god. So it finishes third on our list, and we're now 5 weeks into this. We're done phase 1.
Oh man, Avengers next. This was how many times did you go? Okay, I'm gonna before we get into Avengers, a little taste. I remember when this movie came out. It's kind of tradition when a comic book movie, definitely a Star Wars movie comes out. Me, you, and Dad get together and we go see it. And this was painful because you were at school, and Chef, our father, said, "Oh, when are we seeing this?" And I was like, "Well, we gotta wait for Brendon."
I wanted to point out I was never texted or called or anything about
It
this.
should have been assumed.
I didn't know it was assumed.
And
We don't always see every comic book movie.
we pretty much do.
We see like Thor's.
Avengers broke that.
Okay.
So it was, you were at school, and I was like, well, we gotta wait for Brendon. And I texted you, and I was like, when are you coming home so we can see this? And he's like, oh, I've already seen it like twice. And that was when I was like, nope, okay, hands off. Just let's go see it. Let's go see it 10 times. That being said, I did see this movie a lot.
I want to point out that you actually invited me to go see it twice, I think with Chef again.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I'm good. I've seen it 5 times in theaters already.
Yeah.
And this was in the first 3 weeks of it coming out,
Yeah.
I think. So, give you a little taste there. This is the movie I've seen the most in theaters.
Yeah. I've seen it a good amount of times, I think.
I'm excited. We get to see the terrible Captain America suit. And that's basically the only bad thing of that movie that I remember.
That we remember.
That
That's
we
the
remember.
beauty of this.
That's the beauty of this. So,
We catch all the good memes and all the bad things.
yep, we've given you 5 great memes. We've got you 5 butt scenes, we think, or maybe 4. We don't even know anymore.
Potentially 5.
Potentially. I want to thank...
Brendon, before you finish phase 1, what was your favorite meme so far?
Oh, the Hitler one.
Creepy Hitler's pretty good, right?
Creepy Hitler is the best. Creepy Hitler will live on.
I think mine might be your dad.
Your dad.
Because we use that at Couch Gnomes now. That's just become ingrained. It's just your dad.
I'm glad Iron Man 2's legacy is...
This has affected the Couch Gnomes meme economy.
I'm glad that Iron Man 2's legacy is Hammer yelling your dad
Yeah.
at a random...
It's the only good thing he did.
It really is. That's a sad thing, isn't it?
Oh, man. So next week we wrap up phase 1 with the Avengers.
The Avengers, who's the director of that again? I
could not... Oh,
Nerd.
Wheaton.
Yeah, Josh Whedon. Super
Josh
nerd.
Wheaton.
God of all the nerds.
He did a good job with that.
Josh Whedon did great. Thank you for the Couch Gnomes for giving us their precious YouTube channel space.
Pay the bounty.
I gave it last week.
You did. Yeah, guys. This is Couch Gnomes. You're on the YouTube channel. Go check out other stuff we do. We do some video game stuff. I do some critical stuff. We do this. We stream every Friday on Twitch. We have a Facebook page. We have a Twitter. I don't manage that. Danny does that. We have an Instagram. I don't manage that. Danny and Kanai do that. I'm more the YouTube and Facebook guy.
YouTube Lord.
YouTube Lord. Meme Lord, Supreme Lord. And check out our spreadshirt. Not going to even attempt it this week. It's in the description.
It'll be there. You'll find it. Go buy some
I'm
stuff.
going to eventually get a recording of Kanai to just have that so I can play it.
Are we going to have a Your Dad shirt? Oh!
Okay. Wow. Hey, also, I think this is going to come out pretty soon to the Cowshow's 1 year.
Oh, hey! Look
Yeah,
at that.
we've been doing this for almost a year now.
90% of all streaming channels end in the first, 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah?
And now you've made it
We're
here.
doing, 100 times better than them, at least.
Yeah, there you go.
Alright. So we're going to do some cool stuff for that, I'm sure.
So please go out there, share this with your friends, with
Yeah.
your grandma, with Stan Lee. We don't care.
Please, oh my god. No, if you have a connection to... Don't do that! I would love... Oh my god. If Stanley commented on our commentaries of his cameos, my life would be done. I think I would have lived the fullest life.
So, yeah, share this out with people. We'd love to get some more views. We love conversations.
Mm-hmm.
We are a podcast of the people. Please, we want to hear from the people.
Yeah, it's fair to say we do not advertise this besides maybe on our Facebook every now and again. And I definitely plug it at the end of videos and streams. But please share it with your friends if they like Marvel movies or if they like critical discussions of stuff.
Or they just want to hear two nerds talk for an hour and be totally wrong.
Yeah, we're great to put on the backgrounds for video games.
That's how I listen to it.
Yeah.
That's how I give that one view a week to it.
Yeah, please share and all that stuff.
Next week, Phase 1.
Avengers.
That's probably going to be a long episode.
It's going to be a good one, though.
It's going to be a great one. You don't want to miss it.
All right. See you then, guys.
Later.
Thank you.